in the world of retail, the clock isn't just ticking. It feels like it's moving at the speed of a flash sale, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe even faster sometimes.
So our deep dive today, we're really focusing on the communication side of things.
Mm,
The infrastructure that either helps you keep up with that speed or, frankly, slams on the brakes.
right.
We're zeroing in on that pressure point for executives.
Yeah.
How do you make sure you get instant, basically perfect execution
Mm,
across maybe thousands of stores?
exactly. And when you look at the pressures retail leaders are under, I mean, timing is just so critical.
Mhm.
It's about whether you can pivot immediately when, say, a competitor launches some new promotion, or maybe rally the whole team for a huge weekend push because inventory suddenly shifted. That communication lag. Historically, that's been the sort of invisible cost center in retail ops.
Yeah, that makes sense. And traditionally, it feels like that lag has been kind of baked into the system, right?
Definitely.
Our sources, they show this landscape just cluttered with long emails, dense PDFs attached to internal messages, maybe memos tacked up in the back office somewhere, all stuff that requires associates to stop what they're doing, find the info, read it, and then try to figure out what it means.
And that's the core disconnect we really need to tackle here. Today's workforce, I mean, especially your frontline associates, outside of work, they're consuming information totally differently.
Right.
They're basically trained by platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. They expect info instantly, and they expect it visually with maximum impact and, honestly, minimum effort to understand.
So our mission today, then, is to dig into the actual mechanics of how short video posts are not just changing things, but actively transforming internal communication for retail leaders.
Yeah.
We're talking about moving from that sort of passive response of, okay, yeah, we got the memo, to the active, real-time result of, right, we got it done now.
And the central insight, it's actually pretty simple. Video just speaks their language. It cuts through all that information friction. It delivers clarity, absolutely, but also tone, urgency, and maybe most importantly, authenticity. It's just inherently faster to watch than reading a page of text.
Mhm.
And, studies show visual messages are way more memorable, which is exactly what you need to drive things like following standards or safety updates.
Okay, let's unpack the psychology there a bit. We accept the idea that modern associates are, let's say, visually conditioned.
Right.
But what's the real strategic cost if you keep clinging to text?
Yeah.
And what's the measurable value video adds beyond just being, faster?
Well, the cost of text is really the cost of interpretation. Think
Yeah.
about it. A written instruction goes out to hundreds, maybe thousands of stores.
Mhm.
The tone, completely lost. The urgency feels generic, and how it's interpreted can vary wildly depending on which store manager is reading it, right? And this leads to what we call information friction, which then results in execution drift.
Execution drift. I like that term.
Yeah, it's that subtle but really costly difference between the brand's intended standard, what you want to happen, and what actually happens on the floor.
Okay, so that concept, execution drift, that's huge. If we
Mhm.
can tighten that interpretation window, that's immediate operational efficiency right there.
Precisely. Video's value, its proposition, is that it delivers that clarity and it immediately communicates the necessary tone and urgency. So, for example, a quick video from, say, the corporate VP saying, okay, team, we have a competitor response window of 3 hours to get this pricing change live. That conveys so much more urgency than just an email subject line in all caps.
Totally.
That speed of communication, but embedded with that emotional context, that's what drives immediate and crucially consistent action across the whole company. It shortens that distance between the strategy discussion and what happens on the sales floor.
And for you, the executive listening, time spent on the sales floor is literally money. Every second an associate is stuck trying to decipher some two-page safety memo. Is a second, they're not focused on the customer experience or on actually making a sale.
Absolutely. And our sources show that in places where video posts are used for those critical operational updates, compliance rates on complex stuff, or time-sensitive tasks, they can jump significantly. We've actually seen examples where, like, safety or procedural compliance got faster by maybe 25%, just because the team leader showed the process visually, right there, live from the floor.
Wow, 25%. Okay. What's also fascinating here is the versatility you mentioned. This isn't just a one-trick pony.
No, not at all.
The sources highlight how these video posts can work right across the organizational hierarchy, ensuring you get that single clear message straight from the source. It cuts out that deadly telephone game effect, right? Where the message gets totally scrambled moving down the chain.
Oh, the telephone effect is lethal in retail.
Right.
Yeah, that direct connection from leadership right down to the frontline staff,
Yeah.
that's the engine of alignment. And we see different levels of leadership using video for really tailored purposes, but they all reinforce the overall strategy.
Okay, so give us some concrete examples. How does the usage actually differ, say, between different levels of leadership?
Sure. Let's take two key examples. The store manager, and then maybe the corporate team. So store managers, they're often using video for really localized, very motivational content, quick, daily kickoff messages maybe.
Right, like a morning huddle kind of thing.
Exactly. Or shift-specific goal reminders, peer shout-outs, celebrating a specific customer win. It's high-frequency, super relevant content for that specific store team.
Okay, and then how do, say, district or regional managers use it to maybe scale that local success?
Good question. District managers, they often move into more performance coaching with video. They might use it to recap the weekly focus areas, maybe highlight a success story from one standout store, and then instantly share that best practice with, 10 other stores in their district.
Spreading the good stuff quickly.
Yeah, and recognizing top performers across their whole district, that really fosters a bit of healthy internal competition, and it reinforces what success looks like instantly.
Okay, and then let's move up to the strategic roles. Corporate teams launching a major initiative. How does video help avoid those common communication breakdowns we always hear about?
Yeah, this is where the ROI can be crystal clear. Think about a major seasonal campaign launch. Let's say the holiday merchandising standard.
Oh yeah, always a big one. Usually involves a massive deck.
Historically, right. It's a 50-slide deck, maybe a 6-page PDF guide. It's dense. Now, a corporate team using video, maybe it features the CMO or the head of visual merchandising. They can film maybe a 90-second explanation, something that focuses on the why behind it, the feeling of the campaign. It supplements the technical documents. It doesn't replace them entirely.
Right, it gives context.
Exactly. And our data shows when major launches get introduced with that kind of authentic video post first, compliance and, importantly, the visual accuracy across stores improves dramatically. I mean, a failed launch because of miscommunication, that can cost millions. Video is basically insurance against that kind of failure.
That consistency ensures alignment, faster action, fewer miscommunications.
Okay, but let me throw a critical challenge out there, one that executives raise. The noise factor.
Yeah.
If everyone is empowered to send short, fast videos, how do you stop the frontline associate from just tuning it all out, turning this powerful tool into just another distraction?
That is an essential strategic question. It really forces leaders to be disciplined. This isn't meant to be internal social media, right? It's internal professional communication. And the solution, it really lies in using purpose-built platforms. Platforms that allow for smart segmentation and maybe tagging things as mandatory versus optional. Leaders have to focus on high-impact, high-urgency content. If the message is truly critical, a safety update, a compliance change, it gets tagged mandatory, prioritized.
Okay.
If it's, say, a peer shout-out, well, that's categorized differently. Optional morale boosting. The tech has to enforce that distinction so associates know, okay, this one I must pay attention to. The sheer pace of retail seems to demand this kind of communication, doesn't it? Promotions change daily, inventory shifts weekly.
Constantly.
Competitive moments, brand moments, they're often measured in hours, not days. Communication just has to move that fast.
Yeah.
It can't afford the lag of waiting for formal meetings or committee sign-offs.
Exactly right. And this brings us back to tone. Speed is great, but tone is often what really drives compliance and buy-in. Think about a district manager needing to address maybe a sudden negative audit result across their region.
Yeah, never fun.
No. But they can record a short video immediately, acknowledge the issue, but with the right blend of seriousness and support, it bypasses that time delay, and it avoids the potential, harshness or misinterpretation of just a written reprimand.
Yeah, that's the human connection piece, isn't it?
It really is.
It transforms it from just some detached corporate mandate into more of an authentic coaching moment, maybe.
Absolutely does. And that authentic human touch, that builds connection, which is vital in an industry that, let's face it, often struggles with high turnover.
Yeah.
So these video posts, they're not just an operational tool. They are very much a culture tool. They directly impact retention. When an associate feels seen, heard, connected to leadership, they're just more engaged, less likely to leave. And that translates directly into lower recruitment costs and ultimately higher sales productivity.
Okay, now let's pivot. Let's tackle the hurdle that definitely makes CIOs and frankly, a lot of retail executives pretty nervous.
Mm-hmm.
The technology itself,
No, the plumbing.
we hear it all the time. Traditional video streaming in a retail environment, especially across thousands of stores,
Yeah.
it's notoriously difficult.
It is. That's the crucial bottleneck. And it absolutely must be addressed before you greenlight any kind of enterprise video strategy. Most retail store networks, they operate under extremely complex, very tight security protocols. We're talking PCI compliance systems, right? Mandatory because they handle customer payment data.
Right, can't mess with that.
You cannot mess with that. So real-time video streaming often introduces unacceptable security risks. It clogs up already limited store bandwidth. It can slow down mission-critical things like the point-of-sale systems. IT teams are entirely justified in being cautious about it.
Okay, so we can't just tell managers, hey, use your phone's video app and expect the network to just handle it.
No, definitely not at scale.
So what is the technical solution then? How do you enable this speed and reliability without breaking the network or compliance?
It really requires purpose-built platforms. Platforms designed specifically for this unique retail environment. They have to be enterprise-grade, security, scalability. Those have to be foundational, not just add-ons. And the key really is avoiding real-time streaming altogether.
Okay, avoiding streaming. Elaborate on that. If they aren't streaming, how do associates watch it instantly when they need to?
Yeah, good question. The successful model, it uses smart memory management and background downloading, sometimes called intelligent caching. Think about how, like, Netflix or Spotify manages downloads on your phone. The platform securely delivers that video content to the store device, maybe a tablet, maybe an associate's approved mobile device, but it does it during periods of low network activity, maybe overnight, early morning.
Got it. So it's like a smart caching system. It respects the network's integrity. The content is just waiting, ready for playback without hammering the store's live bandwidth during peak hours.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That ensures smooth, secure playback, zero network disruption when it matters. And just as importantly, the manager creating the content needs it to be easy.
Right, fast.
Fast. The platform has to be mobile ready. Leaders need to record, maybe tag it, post it right from their phones in seconds. No complex editing, no needing to run back to a desktop to upload.
And the regulatory side. How does this tech maintain that necessary security blanket?
It has to be compliant by design. That means built-in enterprise security features, end-to-end encryption, strict data governance. The data management has to be smart enough to prevent network strain, yes, but also ensure the video can only be viewed by authorized team members, protects against potential data leaks, external access, all that stuff. Bottom line, the technology has to work where the teams work, securely, in the stores, on the floor, out in the field.
Okay, so wrapping this up then, if we look at the broad leadership impact, adopting this kind of robust communication model,
Yeah.
what's the real ROI executives should be focusing on?
I'd say the ROI is primarily measured in two things: execution and retention. These video posts, they make executive leadership more visible, more accessible. That fundamentally builds trust. It breaks down those traditional silos between HQ and the field teams. It's signal to your team that leadership respects their time and that you understand their daily consumption habits. And look, this isn't just a soft benefit. It translates directly into faster task completion, lower operational error rates, and as we said, increased employee loyalty. Big savings there.
And in a retail world that is just constantly being redefined by fast-moving market changes, the ability to communicate clearly, consistently, across potentially thousands of locations, basically at the speed of social media.
Yeah.
That might be the single biggest competitive advantage you can have today.
I genuinely believe it is. Retail leaders who really embrace this model, they aren't just, modernizing their tech stack. They're truly demonstrating that they are leading from the front. They're setting the pace for execution across the entire industry.
Okay. So this has been a really practical deep dive, looking at modern retail communication, understanding that cognitive shift towards video,
Right.
the strategic value of getting everyone aligned immediately, the critical role authentic tone plays in driving culture, driving retention, and, crucially, that non-negotiable need for purpose-built tech to actually overcome those very real retail-specific IT hurdles.
So maybe here's the challenge to leave you with, something that should probably inform your next strategic spending decision. If your associates right now are already consuming hours of short-form video content every single day in their personal lives, what internal organizational systems, what blockages are currently preventing your most critical, most time-sensitive operational updates from using that exact same format to guarantee speed, consistency, and just flawless execution?
A question that connects your strategy directly to your sales floor results. Powerful stuff. Thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive.